Hello, it's Ryan from 2minutetennis.net, and in this video, I'm going to show you why the birthday hat is the best tool to use to fix your serve. And I'm also going to respond to a recent comment made in one of my videos I made last week about using the Ash Barty service motion versus the Roger Federer service motion. Let's get right into that last topic right there. Somebody commented saying that, and in the video, I talked about how I don't teach the Ash Barty service motion. And I want to clarify why. First off, I love Ash Barty's service motion. I think it's awesome. I love it. I wish I could do it. It's incredible. When players are looking up videos on YouTube, they have a problem. They have a problem with their serve, with their double strategy, with their singles, with their forehand, with their topspin backhand, whatever. So I take that into consideration with my instruction. What Ash Barty does on her serve is she goes across her feet and she points the tip of the racket at the back fence. If I'm serving that way and I serve, right, and I point the tip of the racket at the back fence, then it's the Ash Barty service motion where then she bends and she kind of like chops off a ponytail and she makes this move. Now, why don't I teach that? And why don't I tell you to do that? Because if you're watching this video, there is a really good chance that, well, it's a really good chance you're not Roger Federer or Serena Williams. And I'll explain what I mean by that. There's a really good chance that you are going into the waiter's tray position. There's a really good likelihood that you don't have the correct grip on your serve or the most efficient grip, that you aren't using the best service motion for you. So you start going on YouTube and you start looking up serve instruction. And then this video popped up and now we're here together. I'm with you, you're with me, and we're talking to each other, right? So I take that into consideration. I say, what's a mistake that these players probably have if they're watching this video? They are going into the waiter's tray. So the most common way players get into the waiter's tray is by going across their feet and pointing the tip of the racket at the back fence. And then they get into the waiter's tray position. See, your brain can get into a rut. And so what I'm trying to do is get you completely out of that rut and to do something completely different. That's why I like teaching the Roger Federer, Naomi Osaka service motion, the Nick Kyrgios service motion, where the tip of the racket, if I'm serving that way, doesn't point to the back fence. But actually as they come up, they lift and now the tip of the racket points to the side. You see John Isner do this. The tip of the racket, the tip of his racket does not point to the back fence, but Ash Barty's does. But again, if you try the Ash Barty serve, you'll probably go into the waiter's tray. So that is why I recommend that you get a birthday hat. See, if you put a birthday hat on your head, and I started doing this 7 years ago. I now remember, it was 2014. I was talking to a kid who was actually in the class when I started doing it. So in 2014, I was teaching a group of 8, 9-year-olds. And he was in that class and he was the first ones to ever do it. And I got little like Sesame Street birthday hats. It was so funny. And we practiced hitting the birthday hat off the serve or off their head during the serve. Now, Ash Barty would not hit the birthday hat the way that Naomi Osaka would, where Ash Barty points the tip back and she makes this move. From the back, it looks like this. So Ash Barty goes like this, where Naomi Osaka goes like this. Roger Federer goes like this. Novak Djokovic, Nick Kyrgios, Sam Groth, they make this move where the racket comes in over the head. I have no problem with the way Serena Williams serves. I have no problem with the way Pete Sampras serves. Shapovalov. You look at these players and they would not hit the birthday hat. Shapovalov, his shoulder stretch is ridiculous. Just hit the ceiling. His shoulder stretch is ridiculous. He would not hit the birthday hat. If I were his coach, I would not change his serve. But I'm not going to teach that instruction to you because, to be honest, if I combine my athleticism and I combine your athleticism, right, we combine them, it's not even going to equal Roger Federer. Just like my net worth and your net worth are not going to equal Jeff Bezos and Elon Musk, right? Like that's the difference between our athleticism and Novak Djokovic and Serena Williams. Like their athleticism, we can't even imagine being that athletic on a tennis court. So I have to do what's going to be in your best interest. I think a lot of coaches on YouTube forget who they're talking to, right? What I mean by that is I am talking to a mom, a dad, a construction worker, a doctor, a lawyer, a school teacher, right? I'm talking to normal, everyday people just like myself. Who are the players who are not watching these videos? Players in the top 100. Nobody 35 in the world is on YouTube going, hey, I'm going to look on 2 Minute Tennis to see how I can win my next tennis match. It's not how it works. So for some reason, I think coaches want to teach you what the pros do. That's not what I want to do. I don't teach you what the pros do. I teach you what you should copy from the pros. And I don't want you to copy the Ash Barty service motion. I don't want you to copy the Denis Shapovalov service motion. These are service motions that are too close to the waiter's tray serve that you are probably using that is absolutely killing the speed of your serve. So why the birthday hat? See, when you hit the birthday hat, it will force you, if I'm serving this way, it'll force you into this position where I could take a tennis ball and place it in the throat of the racket. I'll get a, let me put this on again. I'll get a tennis ball right here. So when I go across my feet and I make this move, I can place a ball in the throat of the racket where Ash Barty could not, and she's in this position, right? And you see Nick Kyrgios in his rackets like this. So he might be able to hold a tennis ball, I'm not sure, but Federer absolutely. But anything in there is great. I don't want you getting into this position because, again, that's too close to the palm up waiter's tray, and then you get tons of backspin on the ball. If you're someone who, when you serve, you've got to hit the ball super low over the net, and the harder you hit it, the lower you got to hit it over the net in order to keep it in. It's because you've got backspin on the ball. And you got backspin because you're going into the waiter's tray position, and you're probably going into the waiter's tray position because you have the grip, a forehand grip that promotes that, which we don't want. We want a continental grip, which is the backhand grip. But also, you're probably pointing the tip of the racket to the back fence, if you're the back fence, because I'm serving this way. So I highly recommend you toss and you learn to bring your racket up. Whether you go into a pinpoint, whether you use a platform, you learn this position, where your palm is down, not on edge like Ash Barty, but your palm is down. That's the opposite of the palm up position. If you attempt the Ash Barty, you're going to get sucked right back into your old service motion. So learn to toss and bring your racket up with the ball in the throat of the racket with your strings pointing down. Then knock off the party hat. It's funny because people will comment or they'll reach out to me in email or direct message on Instagram, and they'll say, Ryan, I tried the birthday hat. It didn't work for me, or my serve, whatever. I can't hit the birthday hat. And one of my most common rebuttals right back to them, I say, hey, I totally get it. It happens to a lot of players. Just a little more practice, can make a difference. Hey, by the way, what color is your birthday hat? I always ask that question. And they'll say, well, I didn't actually wear one. I was just imagining. And I'm like, no. You've got to actually get a birthday hat. My birthday hat is green. What color is yours? Put a birthday hat on your head and practice serving. The only way you are going to hit the birthday hat is to get rid of your waiter's tray serve. And you could say, well, if I tip my head back like this, maybe I could go like this. Don't do that. Don't arch your back so much that now it's pointing back and now you can do the Ash Barty motion. Don't think that that's going to work. It's not. I want you to put it on the top of your head, and I want you to bring your racket up with your palm down and knock the racket off of your head. I was just watching a video of Crunch Time Tennis, Peter Freeman. I love his service motion. Look at his serve. Look at Peter Freeman. I'll put his account below. Look how he's a lefty. I love it. But his racket comes right in over his head. And if he was wearing a birthday hat, he would knock it off every time. I absolutely love Peter's serve. So that's why I don't teach the Ash Barty service motion. I am not telling you that Ash Barty's serve is wrong. I'm not telling you that Pete Sampras is my favorite player of all time. I'm not telling you that Pete Sampras' serve is wrong. Shapovalov's serve is wrong. I don't want you to look for just what the pros are doing. I want you to look for things that you can copy from the pros. They're going to help you gain confidence, win more matches, and play much better tennis. This is Ryan Reedy from 2minutetennis.net. You got this.